Alright, so I get this little level loader set up. Where if the player goes into the level loading area, it drops him into the scene. I just hit the reset key, but it's nothing too much right now. But what I would like to do is where if the level is completed or if the player runs out of lives, it's going to reload back that first checkpoint that's supposed to be right here. Alright, seems that I got this working on the first try, which is surprising. But let's see here. So the level starts. This is gonna be like say the start point. I hit the checkpoint. I'm gonna die really quick. So yeah, it puts me back at this checkpoint instead of the first one. This isn't the level exit, so it throws me back into the level load scene here. And now I'm back at the first level. But let's see here. What I would also like to do is make it where when the player dies, they're thrown back into the level load scene. You know when you step away from a project for just a little bit, like 5 minutes to go take care of something, and like you come back and you're just like, I don't know what I was doing anymore, and that's I'm part of that little issue now. Alright, so I think I've got it set up. There was one little bug, but I don't have to show that, but I don't feel like going out of my way to recreate it either, because that's going to be a little complicated. But basically, so I made the selection level have its own player pref, because I don't want it to use like the actual checkpoint system. So let me put this one over here. So if I enter this level and complete it, it should put me there. And if I go over here, complete the level, it should put me into the second one. Now what I need to do is have it where the player they die, and instead of getting sent back here, they'll get sent back to the level select. Alright, it seems I have this working now, so go over here, load into this scene, and then I die over here, come back over here, hit this checkpoint really quick and see if I spawn at that one instead. Oops. So put me here. Yeah, I mean, it works. If I complete the level and reload it, yeah, it throws me back at the initial checkpoint. So I hit that checkpoint up there just now. Reload it, yeah. So I have a somewhat working checkpoint system with a level loading that kicks you back out of the level if you die, but I don't have it where it's set up. I don't have a main menu yet, so if I hit 0 lives, it's just all it's gonna do is just hit this debug right here. But yeah, I mean, how I set it up was, let's see, let's start with the level exit, I guess. So if the player is grounded and inside the level exit, that's just for now. It's set up the same way as the level selection itself, but if they're in the level exit and they press E, it will change the player pref integer for the first checkpoint loaded back to 0, so that way they're over here. And let's see, the level selection, I had to make a different save part of it for the player preps, so that way it will save and load that position instead of having it reset it to the whatever the level selection is. Because if I have it set like right here where the player loads in here, on the first level it goes into, it's gonna play it at the X and Y position of the checkpoint. So that's why I had to make a new one of that. And when the player enters the checkpoint, it throws it saves the position, and then it loads the scene. So if you put like this before it, it will load the scene but not be able to save the player data, which is something that a lot of coding courses don't tell you. There's a huge order of operations, so it has to be ran in a specific order, which it seems like it would be self-explanatory, but most people don't explain that. And when I have to like tell somebody that, they're just like, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. And then the checkpoint, I think that's still that's still exactly the same, other than like having a integer check for the first level loaded. So like it was demonstrated a few times throughout the video. Let me just, so click here, go over here. So I'm in this checkpoint now, so it bumped up the level load to 1 instead of 0. So let me find out which one it's on. Yeah, so right here it doesn't update it. It doesn't update it on the script itself, but well, I shouldn't say the script itself because it's not on an updated function here anyways. So if I come over here, click here, come back over here, and go back to the checkpoint manager, it's at 1 now, and it basically just gets reset back to 0 once the level is exited. So go back over here, and yeah, it's back down to 1.